everybody, my name is Daniel and I'm back here with another lesson. This is lesson 6 if I'm not mistaken. We're doing floating point numbers. Floating point numbers are very easy. Basically what they are is just they are similar to normal numbers like integers. It's just that floating point numbers actually have a float, meaning they have a decimal decimal value like 16.5 or 25.96 cents. For example, maybe if you're buying food at the grocery store, you get what I mean. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So this is our code. So just create a new file, create a new project, etc. Make it run just so that you know that it works. And once you see that it does run, close it up and let's start. Okay. So the first program that we're going to do is we're going to learn how to declare. Let's declare a floating point number. Okay, so we'll say float and we'll say number 1 maybe, and then we'll give it 12.4. so this is basically a floating point number. You output it exactly how you would any other number. Cout number 1 end line, and let's run this and you'll see that we get that value right there. So very easy, very simple. Floating point numbers, you can do the same operations that you can with any like an integer. For instance, I can decide to say floating point equal floating point 2 and I'll give it 4 for instance, or 4.0. This is just an example. And then in the output I'll just say number 2. Right, I'm adding these two numbers and then we should get 16.4 because it's 12.4 plus 4.0. So also floating point numbers don't have to have an actual decimal place. If it's .0, you can just have it as 4, but as long as you declare it as a float, the compiler does know what it is. It knows that there's a .0 there, right? So you don't have to actually state it. So that's basically the declaration. Now moving on, I'm just going to comment the cout. I want us to create a program that says get the prices. So it says get the 3 prices from the store and add VAT to the total, displaying the results. So let's first declare the VAT. Okay, so I'm going to say VAT is a float, right? Float, I'm going to say VAT. I wrote it on my notes, VAT rate. Okay, VAT rate is equals to say 14%, but we're gonna have it as 15% right there. But because it's a percentage, I'm gonna say 0.15. So, but I'm not gonna just leave it declared like this. Since we know that this value will never change, notice how I wrote it as capital letters because I know that this value will never change. For it to change, it comes after a very long time if the president says that they're changing the VAT rate or something. So really this is a constant number. So that's why good practice is to write it with capital letters, right? And also to ensure that it never changes throughout the program, I'm gonna name it as const. Basically what const it does is that it ensures that this value never changes throughout the program. So for example, if I were to say VAT rate is equals to 1, this won't work because it says expression must be a modifiable value, and for you to change it, it needs to be a modifiable value. So VAT rate is not a modifiable value because I added const, so that just ensures that. So it's not really that important for now, but just understand what const does. We're going to use it a lot, especially when we get into classes and functions. But for now, just understand that const basically means that the variable that you declared does not change. Okay, now that's the VAT rate. I'm going to create more variables. I'm going to have price 1. I'm going to say float price 1, price 2, price 3, and we're basically going to also have the total float, which is total. That's total amount that we're going to display, and then we're going to have the VAT amount, float VAT amount, and what else are we going to have? oh, VAT included amount, float VAT included amount. Okay, VAT included, let me just say VAT included total, like that. Okay, so let's get busy with the program. So these are our variables. So what we want to do is get 3 prices from the user. So we're gonna say cout, enter the 3 prices, and then we're gonna, okay, that's basically it. End line, what am I doing? End line. Okay, so cin, we're gonna take in price 1, price 2, price 3. I keep using semicolons. So price 1, price 2, price 3, and then after that we need to add everything into one total, right? So I'm gonna say total is equals to price 1 plus price 2 plus price 3, right? That's the total. So now what's the VAT amount? So we have a price, so let's just say maybe the user inserted 10 and 10 and 10, that will give us 30, and now we need to the VAT amount. So basically we need to take that 30, which is the total, and multiply it by the VAT amount, VAT, or the VAT rate, to give us the VAT amount. Do you get me? So what we're going to do is that we're going to say the we already have the total, so the VAT amount is equal to the VAT rate, right, multiplied by the total. Or you could just start with the total multiplied by the VAT rate, and as you know, multiplication doesn't care. Left is equals to multiplying by the right hand side. So that's where we're going to get the VAT amount. Okay, so it'll be 0.15 multiplied by the total will give us the VAT amount, and that's the VAT amount that we need to include to the total in order for us to get the VAT included total. Let's just see out how much the VAT amount is, just so that you can have an idea of exactly what's happening. Let's run this, and we get, under the 3 prices, I'll say 10, 10, 10, enter. So the VAT amount is 4.5. So I guess, does that make sense? What's 15% of 100? So okay, let me just change that, because I don't actually do the calculation. So let me add more 3 prices. I'll say 40, and I'll say 40, and I'll say 20. That'll give us 100, and yes, now we get 15. So I just wanted to confirm, because I didn't actually do the calculation, but I know that 40 plus 40 plus 20 is 100, and obviously 15% of 100 is 15 itself. So I know that that works. So now, since we have that, now let's just remove the C out, because that's not what we want. We need to also have the VAT included amount. So I'll say VAT included total is equals to the total amount plus the VAT amount. Okay, so let me just explain this code real quick. So we've declared variables, right? Now when the user inserts price 1, price 2, and price 3, we have the total 40, 40, and 20. That'll give us 100, for instance, and then we get that 100, we insert it into total. Now we get that total because we want to calculate how much VAT, the actual VAT amount we're going to get from this total that you're paying for. Because remember, in stores they add the VAT, amount after they've done calculating the actual VAT. Well, they don't need to calculate the VAT percentage because they already have it. It's 15%. So they take the total, they multiply it by the VAT, then they gives us 15 Rand, right? And then they take that 15 Rand, put it into VAT amount, and then they add the total to the VAT amount. 15 Rand plus 100 Rand should give you 115. So what we should have in here is 115 according to our logic here. Okay, now all we need to do is just output everything. Cout, I'm gonna say the total prices for your goods are, I'm gonna say total, and then I'm going to say end line. I'm going to copy this line of code, I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to say your total VAT amount is, I'm going to give VAT amount, and I'm going to say the VAT included amount is, excuse me, I'm going to paste this, total VAT included amount that you pay is, and then here we just copy and paste this VAT included amount or VAT included total. Might have errors. Let me just get rid of this. Okay, let's run this. Hopefully you guys can see me still, because I might be blocking the screen. Hopefully I'm not. Oh, we have an error. Interesting. Oh, do we have an error? I'm confused. Okay, let's run this again. Okay, yes, we do have something. Okay, let's run this again. All right, so this is the application. Enter 3 prices. I'm gonna say 40, 40, and 20. That should give us 100. Enter, and then it says the total prices for your goods are 100. The VAT amount is 15. The total VAT included amount that you pay for is 115. So basically that's how you calculate all of that. So in this case, these are floating point numbers, but we were lucky in a sense that we inserted values, we inserted basically integers. Let me just change things a little bit. Let me just say 20.2 and 40.4 and 50.65. Enter, and then there we go. So we have total prices for your goods are 111. VAT amount is 16 Rand. Total VAT included amount is 127.938. So you can see that there is no actual rounding off that is happening here, but you do have a working program, right? So without any further ado, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. The links are in the description. If you go to my GitHub, you'll be met with this. This is the repository. And if you go to lesson 6, floating point numbers, you will go into the main.cpp. I'm about to upload the code right now. This is where you'll see all the code, right? And yeah, with that being said, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.